Start with the roll call, please.
Roll call, Mayor Eric Diaz-Padrón.
Here.
Vice Mayor Natalie Emiliano Orbis is a minute away. Commissioner Juan Blanes.
Present.
Commissioner Ivan Chavez Jr.
Here.
Commissioner Luciano Suarez. Yes. Yes, and City Attorney Dexter Legnan is excused. So you have quorum, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Next item.
Public comments, item 3.
Is there anyone for public comments? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, can you please record that Vice Mayor Emiliano Orbis is present?
Duly noted.
Thank you. Next item.
Item 4, special agenda items. Item 4A, report and recommendation by the Office of the City Manager appointing Acting Chief Pedro R. Delgado to serve as Chief of Police for the City of West Miami.
Good
Go ahead.
evening, Mayor, Commission, and residents, and those in the audience. In talking with the officers, the residents, and other stakeholders, it has become very clear to me that they respect and admire the person whose name I'm putting forward tonight. I have no doubt the morale and our standards of service will improve in our police department under his watch. Some of you may know that my nominee began working here as a police dispatcher in 1985 and later became a patrol officer in Hialeah. He returned in 2001 and was promoted through the ranks until he was recently our acting chief of police. He knows what it takes to be a police officer. His background is above reproach, from being a special agent with the U.S. Army Criminal Investigation Division, which he re-enlisted with in 2010 and began working on numerous protective service details, including those for the Secretary and Undersecretary of Defense. My candidate has completed his master's in public administration and is now finalizing and finishing up his PhD in leadership and management from St. Thomas University. This last May, he had an honor bestowed upon him where he was sworn in as the president of the Miami-Dade County Association of Chief of Police. Tonight, it gives me great pleasure in forwarding Deputy Chief Delgado as my appointment to become our city's next police chief. Pete is married with his wife, Monica, who's here in attendance, has 6 children and 2 grandchildren. His background is intertwined with our city for almost 40 years. I am honored to have put his name forward for consideration.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. Let's read the resolution and then we'll go into discussion and bring up your recommendation.
Item 4B, a resolution of the Mayor and City Commission of the City of West Miami ratifying Pedro Delgado as the police chief for the City of West Miami, providing for an effective date of July 1st, 2024.
Chief, would you like to speak before or after commission discussion? After. Beautiful. All right, so I'll go first. This is an obvious recommendation. I don't want to take anything away from your recommendation, but it's an obvious recommendation. We're lucky enough to have an excellent succession plan here in the city. Pete is someone who my family has known since I was born, when he was an officer here in the city when my father was mayor. He's done an excellent job. The men on the force really respect him. He knows the city. He knows the residents, and I have nothing but good things to say about the future of our department under his leadership. So I'm very much in favor of the appointment, of ratifying the appointment, and I just want to open up to the board for their comments and deliberation. Go ahead, Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. Mr. Manager, sorry. I think Pete is an excellent choice, an obvious choice. In my time here, I've been very happy to work with him, and I know that he has the community's best interests at heart always. And I see nothing but a great future under his leadership for the police and the city. So I'm happy to support him and support the choice. Thank you.
Commissioner, go ahead.
So I also am in agreement with the manager's selection of Pete Delgado. On a personal level, my wife and I, back in 2019, we were doing a pre-marriage retreat, and Pete and Monica were actually there, And I know I learned from that moment that he's a man of faith, which is important to us here in God We Trust, is in our chambers. And aside from that, as the manager mentioned, he is about to finish his PhD. He's been getting grants for this city for as long as I can remember, especially more recently, a Firehouse Subs grant that we got to equip all of our squad cars with AEDs. And there's that initiative now is very important to all of us. And he's a man of West Miami. He grew up here, as the manager stated, and it's important for all the young officers that are over here to the right to understand that there's room for growth here in our city, that if you work hard and you put the time in, that eventually you too can one day become chief of this city. So that's very important to us, and very happy to hear that that's your choice, and that's my choice as well.
Commissioner Blanes?
I was wondering who the heck is Pedro? Pedro. But the manager said that Pete is intertwined here in this city, and he certainly is. His roots are here. I remember many years ago, I used to, one of my first or second elections, I used to stop by his grandparents on 18th Street or 18th Terrace. And they were wonderful people. They were really, truly wonderful people. They would bring me in, give me coffee, feed me cake. By the time that I was done, I just wanted to go home and stop campaigning. But yeah, Pete he's from here. He's from West Miami, and he knows the people. He knows the employees, the residents. He has great knowledge and a great pulse on what goes on here in this city, and I believe that, with that said, it's the best choice that we have and that we can make. So I'm very glad, I'm very proud to support Chief Pete Delgado.
Commissioner Schwartz?
Well, welcome to come to see this ceremony tonight, because Pete is part of the city for years. This morning I was talking to my daughter and my son-in-law. Oh, I'm sorry. Welcome to come to West Miami for this special ceremony we have tonight. This morning I was talking to my daughter and my son-in-law when they purchased the first house here more than 30 years ago. And I was talking about, I will have a very important meeting for you for the ratification of the chief, and they remember you, they know you. Oh, Pete, tell Pete hello. And I remember his father, he was an accountant for Eastern Airlines. Pete Delgado's father was an accountant for the Eastern Airlines. And I was a good friend of mine. And I remember he invited me for lunch once to the restaurant here in West Miami. The owner was Wayne. You remember the lady who owned the restaurant here? And he told Luciano, I come over here because I want you to meet my son. He's a police officer in the city of West Miami. I said, oh my God. I came to the lunch, and he had full hair. He was a young kid. He was like me. In that, I older than him, but in that time you also have hair. But well, it was the point is that it's a nice family. I knew his father and then his grandfather and grandmother, and there was a great family. And I'm very happy that Pete is going to be the new chief after Avila retired. And I think we have very well protection with this staff. It's a great staff. But you, Pete, there is one thing for the residents. He is part of the very good people in the Army who keep the training. He goes for the training in the Army Corps for new guns, new arms, new techniques. So he is very well prepared for the military and for everything related to the law and order. So I think we are very well, we're lucky. We have you and we have the new chief. And I think we are very happy to have personnel like Pete. who is a very good, and the manager, you make a good selection. You select a good guy. So, welcome, Pete. Welcome very much. I think everybody appreciate that, really. Thank you.
Well, not yet. We need a motion first.
Motion.
We have a
Second.
motion. We have a second. Call the roll.
Commissioner Chavez?
Yes.
Commissioner Suarez?
Yes.
Commissioner Blanes?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Milian Orbis?
Yes.
Mayor Diaz-Padrón?
Yes.
5-0, item passes.
Thank you. And now,
Wow, that was quite an introduction.
Chief, you're recognized.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, Mr. Manager. I'm truly humbled and honored with your decision to allow me to lead this group of extraordinary men and women into the future. I could not do anything unless it was for them. And for many, many years, the police department has enjoyed a very rich history. And that history is made up of all these folks behind me, not necessarily the person in the lead. Well, I could tell you that their number one priority and our number one priority is based on keeping our residents safe and secure. Rest assured that this mission will continue, and our commitment to our residents and business owners will never change. Again, you have my number. Anytime you need to call me, I will respond, as will they. So with that, thank you very much for your appointment. I appreciate all of you. God bless.
Thank you.
You are all invited to a swearing-in ceremony at a time and date which will be provided shortly after this meeting, probably. And with that, next item, please.
Item 5, consent agenda items, none this evening. Item 6, good of the order.
And then go to the order. Seeing none, motion for adjourn?
Motion.
We have motion.
Second.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you, guys.